Ooh, we got a great call lined up. We've just been chatting here with man. We got another Dimitri that we're partnering with, working with now. So lots of Dimitris on the team. But we've been having a great conversation with Dimitri. Wait until you guys hear his background, what they have done already in the VR space. It's absolutely incredible. And the team that they're bringing, that they have brought into partnership with blockchain sports. So it's exciting. So, Dimitri, great to see you today. Edward, Ilya, what's up, brothers?
Hey, yeah, it's exciting. We just what, 10, 15, 30 minutes actually before this call talking to Dmitry and finding out more new things what we didn't know about, right? It's like mind blowing. Wow. So I'm excited to hear more.
Yeah, this is something totally new that
And
nobody has ever seen.
yeah, and the internet for Dmitry may be breaking up here and there because he's in a secret place. Maybe he will tell us that secret place.
And Edward, tell him why, at least why he's there, right? Like, I mean, how cool is that? I have personally never gotten that phone call.
Yeah, well,
I've never been
maybe.
invited to that trip.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's introduce Dmitry or have him introduce himself since we're still learning more about him. Dmitry, please tell us a little bit your background and
Hi everyone, my name is Dimitri Mikhailchuk. It's nice, as engineers, we like things to be standardized. So Dimitri's our standard name. We have like 5 or 6 Dimitris now across the management group. It is creating a lot of confusion though, when somebody calls for
That's
Dimitri.
good. We were Edward and I were thinking about changing our name to Ilya.
Right. At
yeah,
least it would be to remember, isn't it? You just stick to one name. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, a little bit about myself. I've been an innovator and building businesses for the last probably 25, 28 years, all related to high tech. My first company I worked for was building robotic equipment for microelectronics, and the main client was Intel. And there were a bunch of smaller clients like Motorola's, Siemens, you name it, like Nokia's and whatnot. Then I moved to London, and there I started my first digital agency, trying to build different solutions for different clients. And it was always a custom solution of sorts. That was my thing. I like innovating. I like tinkering with technology and creating something new. So one of my famous projects was a haptic suit, which we kicked off in 2015, 2016 time, which was built for the purpose. Initially, we thought we will be the pioneers in the gaming industry, building a haptic suit that will allow us to feel the shots in the game, feel the touch, feel all the hugs and whatnot. We built it for that industry, but it never took off as a B2C product. To begin with, the market of headsets wasn't big enough, and then there wasn't enough money in the economy overall in VR. It was growing, but it wasn't there yet. So we pivoted to a B2B story, and surprise, surprise, my first client was NASA. I've sold first suits to NASA I've delivered them to Houston into the special lab that was taking care of training the astronauts and spacemen. Apparently, I've learned a new thing today, and this is why this is actually is related to where I am right now. I'm currently in a space center which is located in Kazakhstan. So you should forgive me if my video freezes from time to time. This is a place which is invitation only. We had to get clearance for we had to be in the queue for 6 months to get all the security clearances and whatnot. No one can come in as they please. It's only like invitation only place. And yesterday we were supposed to launch a manned mission to the ISS. It's a 3-man mission, but at the very last point, 20 seconds before the engines were supposed to fire up, the automated system decided to stop the launch because the battery went flat.
Now,
That's how
Dimitri, that wasn't a technology that your team created, right? I'm just kidding.
luckily not. I'm not responsible for that. No, not my fault. I'm all about entertainment now, you know, the happy feelings and whatnot. Well, it was a crazy moment because this is the first of a kind stop, but luckily, you know, it averted the potential disaster. Nobody knows why the battery decided to go flat. It wasn't flat, but it went down a little bit. So they tried to retest it, and it's flying tomorrow. They will attempt to launch tomorrow. But unfortunately, I won't be
And
there for
ISS is the International Space Station, right?
It is an International Space Station, yes, which was built by, I think, 18 different countries. It's a truly international station where a lot of astronauts, I think over 200 people went to space so far. And I've met with at least 20 in the last 3 days.
Wow.
So,
Now, do you think the battery not working had something to do with Elon Musk sabotaging you guys?
it
I'm
could be.
kidding.
Well, doesn't he get enough PR already?
It's true.
He owns the social network. He can do whatever. Nevertheless, yeah. Because I used to work with the space industry, I have sold 8 different space agencies in my time, selling my products to different European Space Agency, Canadian Airspace, Australian Airspace, you name it. We work with loads and loads of different space agencies. I happened to sponsor the actual I think it was 23rd summit of space, which means all of the astronauts who made it to space are supposed to attend. It's like it's a thing that moves into different countries every year or every 2 years, I think. And this is how I got the invitation to actually support the launch program as well, which I was very honored to come over and do my part.
That's
But
incredible,
now,
dude.
yeah, it's really a tremendous uptaking, I must say.
And your last
Yeah.
project was specifically a very massive VR project. You guys actually built, I believe you said you built the VR, the full body suit type of VR system, and you guys sold that particular company, right? Had a tremendous exit, and man, what a privilege to have you as part of the blockchain sports team now. And man, we're excited to hear about what you guys are putting together for sports, because you gave us a little teaser before, and oh my goodness, guys, you're in for a treat today. This product category within the ecosystem is huge. And I just got to say that I just found out last week, Dimitri, that they are now adding esports officially into the Olympics. And so the World Olympics now actually has an esports division in the Olympics, and they have a huge vision for that to grow. And if you guys remember on our last AMA, we had Dr. Eric on with Inner Athlete. Their entire Inner Athlete program is also developing a division just for esports. And this was shocking to me because when I think of gaming, I just think of, sitting on the couch with a joystick. But
That's
the world of
amazing.
gaming is changing, right? It's like becoming this, and we're on the front end of what really we believe is the future of interactive sports and bringing technology and real world sports together. So, Dimitri, we're excited to learn more today about what you guys are developing with this project.
Mitchell, before you go forward, I just want to clarify. So you had your own company, you run your own company, you guys had about 100 plus people. Now, after you sold, now you are your team is part of blockchain. Now it's one with the blockchain.
Yes, so I'm the lead on a project inside the blockchain structure, and we have an extensive team now that will partake this part of operations. And we're building something new and something really exciting. And we're going to cover this today. I don't want to spoil it ahead of time because certain parts.
No, I just wanted to see where you came from and now all this team is that it's not that you're a side company from blockchain, you are part of blockchain. That's what I wanted to be clear.
100%. Yeah, I'm actually becoming like the center of things because a lot of internal investment is going into projects that I oversee. We're building an XR lab, which is probably, I think the cost itself was like over $1 million now. We're going big, you know, serious stuff. And I like building serious stuff. So you've already heard of
Yeah.
You know,
us
like
in
like
working
rocket
sponsoring the
ships.
space. We also work with, yeah, stuff like that, you know, little things, but on a big scale. Yeah.
No, that's huge. And so right now, your team right now within blockchain sports, how big is the team that you are now leading? How many people are in that team?
We're getting close to like 100 people, with a plan of hiring probably another 60% more. So to accommodate even the initial stages. And then when we're gonna branch out into other types of sports, that kind of structure will self-replicate as well. So we're gonna grow into a massive, massive company.
That's
But obviously,
amazing.
we're building a global type of entertainment. So you can imagine we're gonna need heads and hands and everything in between.
That's awesome. So before we go to the PowerPoint, we're going to do that in just a minute. Because once we do that, I know you're going to follow the structure of the presentation. But I know we would love to hear, just as I love talking to innovators, right? Because it's very clear that you're an innovator. You're one of those guys that thinks about the future before it comes. You see where the world's going, and you try to get there for solving some problems in advance. Where do you see this world going? The world of, do we call it VR? Do we call it XR? Like, just kind of give us the vision of your picture and where you see this space going specifically to the things you're working on.
The trick is, what we've seen before. We've seen a normal world, and then VR came around. It's a third wave of VR. We're talking about, first VR was developed in 1970s, I think, by NASA, specifically for NASA purposes. Then there was another revival period in the 90s, which didn't take off. The technology wasn't there yet. And now we're seeing a third wave, third revival of the technology. Now we can safely say that the tech is good enough for our eyes to take this content, to perceive it the way it was supposed to be. The computational power is there. It's compact enough that we can package it into a set of glasses. However, we can see that a lot of, thanks to the computer vision development, the AI development, neural networks and everything else, we can have a device that helps us to traverse the space. And we thought that, why don't we build something which is out of this world? We take the actual physical participation, but we virtualize what you see. So your space is virtual, but you're physically participating, meaning you have to, and in our case, in the XR football, you have to cross the entire pitch, which is the true to size pitch to be played on. So we're creating a hybrid mode. We will work with our marketing team to give it a meaningful classification, I would say, because we're creating a new classification. Just you wait and see when the Olympics guys hear about what we've created, because they only thinking in the dimension of a VR headset and a guy which is, or a joystick, as you mentioned before, and a guy sitting in one place. Now we're going to give an opportunity to actually do proper sports in a true spirit of sports, but we can have it anywhere, anytime, and we can connect teams from different locations. So we're going to traverse the space, you know, in no time. It's very exciting.
That's amazing. It's almost like a hybrid reality, right? It's like a hybrid reality. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's why we call it XR. So there was a lot of talk about how do we name different types of realities. And there was a lot of like marketing around it, and it was difficult to pinpoint and explain what the heck it is. So we put the X, and we maintained to use the X before the reality XR to stand for extended reality. So we extend the reality. So whatever is possible in real life, we just extend it, we blow it out of proportion. You can have your entertainment in whatever way you like.
It's a category creator, man. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun.
That's the
A
whole
true,
goal.
a true cat XR extended reality. I love it. Well, why
Yeah.
don't we go into the PowerPoint? You know, start going through, and then what we'll do is we'll probably stop and ask some questions or comments along the way if there's, you know, something that we think the community might want more details on or clarity on. So let's dive in, guys. Welcome everybody. We want to remind you that we have live translation right now in 13 languages, so you can hit the interpretation link at the bottom of your Zoom. And if you prefer a language other than English, most languages are covered here today. We're also broadcasting live on YouTube, on the Limitless YouTube channel. So welcome everybody from around the world. And guys, let's dive into this exciting information about just one of the many projects that are being built in the blockchain sports ecosystem. But I'll tell you, this one has us excited. You know, inner athlete and extended reality, and so our last AMA, and this AMA, I believe are the two most. When we look at everything that's being worked on and developed right now, these are the two projects that are just absolutely positioned to be disruptors in the marketplace. So, Dimitri, thanks for joining us here today, and we'll throw it to you to pull up your screen share and take us through this presentation.
My pleasure. Let me launch it. Okay, let's go. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Right. So blockchain sports XR. We have an umbrella name for different kinds of sports that we are going to integrate as part of the umbrella brand. But today we will be focusing on football specifically. So we call it XR football. And it's a blend. It's a new type of entertainment. It's a new type of sport as well. It's a hybrid esports, if you will. And in this particular case, we're combining the rules of football, real football, with the virtualized space. We will have teams competing based on real size pitch. You can see that the format will be preserved, so it's 11 versus 11.
Let's go back to that last slide real quick, because I just want people to get a visual.
11 aside. And
I think you were breaking up. Let's go back to that last slide real quick, because I want to.
Most of the rules will traverse into the digital. Yeah. So we have a virtual ball. Okay.
Hey, Dimitri, why don't you try turning your video off? Because you are breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe that'll help. Decrease bandwidth.
So did you?
Dimitri, are you able to hear me?
Right. Yes.
Okay, maybe turn your camera off, because we're getting it's breaking up quite a bit. And on this slide, just talk about real quick, because it's in this
let's do
slide.
that. Let's switch it off. Done.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe that would be better. Talk a little bit about, because when people think VR right now, most people think virtual reality glasses, right? They think seeing into another world and maybe some hand controls or whatever. But let's start with this slide and talk a little bit about the actual suits, the technology that you're developing. I mean, you know, what will these players actually be wearing, and what will this technology be doing beyond just the glasses?
Yeah, well, we're developing the entire ecosystem of smart wearables for this. We want the players to be able to feel the virtual ball that they're going to play. But to begin with, we need to explain that the two teams are going to be located in different, even countries, cities, you name it, different football pitches. That's what we want.
That's huge.
And yeah, so once they start the game, they will be wearing smart wearables, which we adapt to look like standard football uniforms as well. So it is the closest you can get to the actual real football, but we adapt it to look like a real uniform. So underneath the standard t-shirt and shorts, as well as the socks, so they're going to be wearing a smart suit, the smart shin guards, and the shoes. We're going to modify the shoes throughout the entire body. They can feel the ball, the contact, the game itself. So the haptic is going to be embedded in that. We're going to have motion capture, reading the movements of every player in a precise detail. We're going to have like a millimeter precision, digitize it in real time, which gives us an opportunity to broadcast it from the point of view of an actual player. So imagine the moment where the player comes close to the goals and is about to shoot. You can have a look how it looks like from there, from the point of that specific player, or follow the player. The camera can fly around, and the whoever watches the game can choose whatever angle you like, or we can direct it forward.
We lost his voice.
There are two modes of watching this. Not a single big brand has achieved this level of right. Is it back? Can you hear me
Yeah,
well?
you're back. You're back now, Dimitri. This is just fascinating, and I just want to make sure all of our listeners understand that. And I want to make sure I understand. So, literally, you could have a team of footballers, for example, at their own club, at their own field, at their own pitch, as you call it, in Brazil. Have another team, for example, in Japan, and through this XR model, those two teams are actually playing a real football. Now, it's virtual, but it's the same experience as a real football match against each other. Is that correct?
That's it. Yes, yes. And you can see on this slide, for example, on the right-hand side, we try to represent how the players look in real life, and on the left, immediately they're immersed into a stadium of sorts of their choosing, and they're competing against each other. So they can see each other as a high photorealistic graphics of real people running around, live.
Now, I would love to see, Jeremy, I would love to see how they play actually, not the game itself, but outside the game. How it looks, you're playing a ball and you don't have that ball, how you're kicking and everything.
That would be one of the first time the world sees that, it'll be one of the funniest things. Imagine this VR in like, MMA or something, right? And you're throwing someone around and there's no one there, right? This is fascinating. This is absolutely fascinating. And I'm sure, Dimitri, this could be applied in so many different sports after we launched this in football. I mean, this has such an application in so many different sports around the world.
Absolutely. We've already started the R&D into other types of sports in parallel, so not to lose any time. And it will transform how we consume different events and competition, and you just name it.
That's amazing. Okay, continue with your PowerPoint slides. I just wanted to make sure that everyone from the beginning really understood what you're developing, because this is a game changer. I mean, this is literally the future. I mean, this is like science fiction, but it's real.
It is. So imagine we're building the football to follow the same format, similar rules. We're going to modify some of the rules to adapt it to the actual experience being digitized, but we're going to have an 11-a-side that will participate, will occupy the entire pitch, football pitch. I can.
Yeah, we can hear you and we can see the
Right.
screen.
Because your videos have disappeared. I thought I've disappeared from.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we just turned it off to make sure that we're not affecting any of the bandwidth either.
Right. It actually helps me to see if somebody's actually moving on the videos. I know that I'm still not. I'm still there, you know. So
Cool.
yeah, it's
All right, we'll have our videos on then.
yeah.
Let's keep it
So
on because
yeah.
our face expression is gonna be keep you going.
So yeah, imagine we're following the same rules. We're almost the same type of format. We're even adopting the uniforms. So these gloves, for instance, will be the smart gloves with all the haptics built in. You can feel the ball being stricken at the goalies. You know, the goalkeeper is wearing the same gear that he would wear in a normal game, except for it will be just smart wearables. So that's the whole idea. We're trying to get as close as possible to the real thing. And then this is how it will play out, you know, into intercontinental matches. So we're talking about different locations taking part in one game, and also the spectatorship joining from all over the world, and you can have the best seat anytime. That's another advantage of this. In VR, you can choose where you are located in the crowd. And at the
I mean,
same time,
the metaverse component of this is huge, isn't it? Where fans can interact. Oh, wow.
oh yes. The technology allows us to create spatial audio, to create the crowd cheering. You can hear the sheer number of people participating. You will be able to see your mates if you wish to. They can appear as avatars. You can customize your avatars. You can have a simple one, or you can buy add-ons, for instance, and ramp it up to the point it looks real.
Wow.
Things like that. Yeah.
I have a hard time. I have a hard time and this not understanding, even realizing that when you kick the ball or when you touch somebody, you actually feel exactly the same effect. I want to try it myself because to see how real this is, you know?
Yeah, you will be close to the real thing. You won't be able to shoot, well, probably at the same amount of force because there's no counter force in effect. But you will be able to feel that you've just kicked the ball or done the dribbling, you know, moving it around. The smaller moves are going to be very similar. You won't be able to tell a difference. It's the bigger moves that we will modify slightly, and that will go into the rules. But imagine we move away from all those potential injuries that you can have if you clash with someone, because your team is on your pitch and there's no competitor team next to you, like in the immediacy. You can see them being standing next to you, but they can't kick you anymore or push you. So this is how we're going to modify it a little bit. But again, it creates a safer environment. It creates, I think, a new way of competing against each other. There's going to be a new way of approaching the whole game. So it's a new world. We're designing a new world, and just you wait until you see it.
That's incredible. I got to tell you this story, Dimitri. For those that maybe have never experienced VR yet, I really encourage you to. They actually have VR places now where you can go and it's like arcade rooms, but they're full VR systems and you can play the different games that they do have out. But my first VR experience, my son has a full setup, with
Yeah.
the things mounted on the walls and all that kind of stuff. And my first VR experience, and it's on video, and it's the funniest thing ever. You go up to, I don't know, 100 stories or whatever it is in a high-rise building. So you get on this elevator, and the elevator takes you up, and then the door opens. But when the door opens, it opens to the outside of the building, and there's a wooden plank, and you have to walk the plank. Like you just walk out on this piece of wood, but you're 100 stories in the air. Now, it's crazy, guys, because I knew that I was in my living room. I knew that I'm standing on my floor. I knew mentally that I was in a game, but the sensation was so real that it literally took me, I was scared, I was shaking. It took me 60 seconds, Dimitri, to even be able to take my first step off of the edge of this building because the sensation and the way your mind felt it, how real it was, it was crazy. It was the most wild experience. And I'm thinking, my brain knows. I know that I have a headset on and I'm wearing this gear and I'm in my living room. But the senses were so engaged that it literally overrode my reality. It became a new reality, and I was afraid to walk out on that pretend plank in that VR. So I can only imagine how powerful this can become for sports.
Jeremy,
When you
really
throw
quick,
in, yeah, when
I
you
was
throw in
watching.
sensation. Sorry, Edward, go ahead.
Yeah, I was in Thailand and walking, and I saw on the street people are like doing things with these glasses. And I'm thinking they faking, and I was with friends. I go like, that's not real. They faking. That's not possible. So then I go in, and they recorded me. I was literally falling on the floor. People were holding me so I don't fall. The guys was falling. It was that real, and that was years back. I cannot imagine how much more developed now and how
Stay
this
with me.
is.
This was 6 years ago for me.
Yeah, that was also probably 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know, but that was crazy. I know the feeling you were talking about.
And that's just visuals. Imagine we throw in the haptical feedback. So when you're able to touch things and connect with it physically, your brain will do such a trick on you. You will not be able to distinguish the difference. It's the brain that will work it out for you. Doesn't matter whether
That's
you know
crazy.
or
That's scary.
believe it. Yeah,
It-
it will
it's
take you
scary, actually.
elsewhere. Yes, it's something else. Wait until you try it. So yeah, having all the players digitized in real time allows us to also track the telemetry. We will know how fast they've accelerated throughout the games, how many moves they made, what kind of trick moves they've done, and so on, so on, so on. And also we can track the moments where they actually break the rules. So we'll know exactly when and how. And we're already building a neural network to become a digital cameraman to show us the best angle when it happens. So imagine replays, auto replays will be the next level. So you'll be able to see when and where and how it all happened, instead of a human trying to position the camera in the right place. And we will be able to put the camera on the pitch as well, because it's all virtual camera. So the experience is going to be only growing bigger and bigger. And obviously, we will be able to rectify all the disputes. Will show how this can be played in a different way, in a fair way. But also, we're working on creating customizable practice opponents. So you can see already that what's his name? Kurani has given us an opportunity to have him inside our experience. He's going to be promoting. We have a green light from 10 pro footballers already that will be supporting us in promoting, and the number is only growing every time we show it to them. Every time we show the concept, they're all up for it. They all love it. We've already had Romario joining, Marco Materazzi, Zico, Wesley Snyder. All of them will be supporting our experience and promoting it all around the world. And
Incredible.
we can create a digital twin of these players so one can practice against them. And more so, we can create a digital twin from different ages, from different time and experience levels. So you can practice against somebody who just started, or for example, Pele at his, pinnacle of his experience. Try playing against him, that kind of thing. Certain things can be customized, so the digital twin can play against you on a different level, obviously allowing you to actually win sometimes. We all have to win. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so much fun. The computer always takes over. But also, we want to create what we call a show match format, where we create a fully digital team. Obviously, if your physical team plays against another team on another continent, you don't know if they're there. And we've already started training the AI to create these avatars, the digital twins of the players, star players, so we can create a whole team playing against our team, for example, and showing us how it could be should they all have assembled on the same pitch. Imagine that. Then also, I told you it's going to be big. We're going to start with 32 teams, 16 countries to represent a worldwide cyber championship league. So immediately we're into a zone where we go big, and we become a league straight away, which allows us to, it gives us enough bragging rights, creates a lot of attention. It's going to be a momentum that will launch this, propel this into, every news outlet will be talking about us without us needing to even bring in their attention to us. They will pick it up and continue talking about it. We'll create something really big. But also, as a continuation story, we can have a fantasy football built in. The space is only digital, so we can place it in in the middle of a lava field, or we can put it in space. And this type of experience, we think we will be able to place in those virtual reality outlets. And this will be another stream of revenues, where we license it to different virtual reality spaces. And they will be able to buy our gear that we're creating for our Cyber League. And obviously, anybody will be able to then try it and play with their mates, switching different modes, playing for shorter period of time, smaller teams maybe, other things. We're gonna create boosts. So if somebody is behaving really well or haven't broken the rules, he can have an accelerated, increased power shot, for instance. Or we're talking about the goalkeeper getting a shield. How cool is that? I mean, changing the classic way of entertaining ourselves into something that is still physical, but at the same time so virtual. You can do many, many, many different things. So that's the idea. This is our lab. We've already started constructions. I mean, we were about to finish the construction. In fact, I'm being reported that in a month's time, this will be live. This lab is going to be built. These are real renders from our architects. And this is how it's going to look like. That's a real stuff that we're finishing now. We're building different zones. We're going to be exploring different types of sports, building 4 sports. And I can tell you that we've already started working with MotoGP. We're bringing the real full-size motorcycles. We're building that motorcycle experience to be able to train. And in fact, we want to attempt the similar thing that probably you've seen that movie where Nissan has taken PlayStation players and created a real team out of them. So imagine if we give them all the tools to train, or basically the bikes, the e-bikes, and the experience itself. Imagine if they can actually then switch to real thing and go through all of the MotoGP circuits in a similar manner and actually win. Wouldn't that be awesome? So those are just a few different experiences. So going back to the actual tech that we're building, you can see that we're taking a real uniform, but underneath there's going to be a smart suit. It will have a biometrical chip that will collect the biometry performance, so the number of breath that's one's taking. We want to know as much as possible, the heart rate, how things, the exertion. We want to have all of the information to dive in, see how they perform, how they underperform maybe on a day. We want to know everything. Motion capture will repeat their moves, so we'll have the mapping of it. The haptics will allow the football player to actually feel the contact. Then we're looking at cleats, looking at the goalkeeper gloves. You can see the smart shin guards. So all of this, plus we're developing the world's first pro athlete oriented VR headset. The VR headset is going to be modified so it supports the proactive movement, because many of the headsets are either too heavy or too hot or everything combined. We don't want that. We want the lightest possible format. We want the ergonomics there. We want it to be air cooled. We want to spend enough time in VR playing our favorite kind of sports. So we're building even that. And actually, in fact, I'm on the way to see our potential suppliers soon. Literally on Monday, I'm going into rooms with the biggest players in components for VR at the same level as Apple. I have access to all of these vendors. We're going to build our own thing from scratch, but it should be spotless, you know, the stuff that we attempting to build. Now, diving into broadcasting rights, this is one of our revenue streams. We're going to have multiple revenue streams as it happens, you know, with everything digital. We can slice it in so many different ways. But broadcasting rights is one of the biggest chunks, biggest donors of our revenue. We will be able to sell the native advertising into it. So sponsors will go in. We can present advertising in all of the languages that, you know, based on the user settings. So the advertising itself can adapt to the behavior of the user. Like each person, say 1 million people are watching the game, they'll see 1 million different types of advertising at the same time. It's not going to be the boring, non-targeted stuff. It's going to be customized to the liking, to the actual user itself.
Brilliant.
On top of that, we want the spectators to be involved. So we're developing a way of actually getting involved. We're playing with cameras. I already told about that. But imagine you can be your own broadcaster. We will give the controls to switch the view. Imagine you can see it from 360 degrees of freedom. You can place the camera wherever. You can watch it from bottom to the top, or top to the bottom, left to right, right to left, from any angle. And then we introduce, as you mentioned before, the what's it called? The metaverse style. So be it a mobile phone screen, be it a flat screen TV, we can broadcast to VR, we can broadcast to anything. So we're limitless in the way of how we deliver the content. We want it to be as native and as convenient as possible to the end user. So whatever new headsets come out, we're not going to limit the actual spectatorship to a specific device. We want it to be unlimited. Like whatever device you want, this will be projected onto that. And then these are our concepts of the businesses that we're going to start selling once the product is established. We call it club in the box, so anybody can come in and buy an entire club. We take a pitch, football pitch, we come and convert it, we provide all the hardware, we provide all the software that's required to run your own football club. So you can grow your own team, and you can represent yourself now in a global league. Imagine we're going to have, and I'll show you the structure of the sports, but also the scouting agencies are in the real football, for instance. Scouting is a $5 billion business, so you can have that as part of your business itself. So we're going to sell it as a turnkey solution as well. Access to the data, access to the players. You can charge scouting fees. You can do consulting. You can represent a specific player. They will become professionals. They need a manager. So imagine we can grow new managers out of suddenly, you know, and anybody can join it. This is the structure that we want to build. So this is how global we become from the onset. So with continental confederations, obviously we're going to have football academies. This is a more professional level. Then we go to professional leagues and down to football clubs. And even the school pitch can have its own football club joining this structure. So we can have kids training, we can have adults, we can have everything, everyone in between. And then we can join the VR clubs, you know, VR location-based entertainment places joining us as well. So this is a global, truly global experience. And we want this to be as big as possible. So we'll take the world over. And as you can see, we're going to give a new experience that nobody has seen before. But you can already imagine that with the sensations that we bring, the visuals, it's going to be a different level to anything that exists in VR so far.
Amazing. Amazing. Edward, this is so fascinating. You know, we get the question a
I hope
lot.
I haven't overloaded you with.
No, are you kidding? This is I mean, this is so exciting. Edward, we get the question a lot from people, and because right now we're in this phase where the limitless community can become founders of this whole ecosystem, right? And I mean, just think about the Atla coin for a moment. Think about the blockchain component for a moment. I mean, imagine this fan base, these tournaments. Imagine so many use cases where people can use the coin to engage in these types of environments. But even beyond that, we get asked the question a lot: what happens if we don't sell all of the founders packs? What happens if the target goals aren't reached? And what is so important for people to realize is the offers already, the interest already that is there from big institutional funds. Can you imagine, guys? Just think for a moment how many companies, how many countries would love to own the rights to something like this. Like, imagine the opportunity. Well, that's on the table. And so this, I hope, makes it so big for everyone to understand that this is the type of project that in the traditional world can bring in billions of dollars. And you as a community, we have the exclusive opportunity to be founders in these types of technologies. I mean, this is massive. I'm looking at this whole presentation today, and I'm thinking to myself, we already have people lined up that are begging for the rights to these kind of technologies, and the word hasn't even gotten out yet. There's going to be, in the open market, when this gets released, there's going to be so much demand and so much desire from the investment world to be a part of these types of projects. And we get to be first, guys. The limitless community gets to be founders in these types of projects. So, Edward, this has got me fired up, man.
I know. I mean, just this alone, it could be the whole project just about this alone, and that's it, right?
Right.
Last week we did the call with Dr. Eric, and that alone could be completely like, and this is a $1 billion, this is a $1 billion thing. This is not a million, this is not 100 million, this is a multi-billion dollar
Multi-billion.
project. And this is one alone. I just like this mind blowing.
Yeah. And what is the most amazing, when we started this like partnership conversation with Dmitry, right, between Limitless and Blockchain Spots, we started from an NFT marketplace, which by itself, again, it's a huge market, right? So look where the whole conversation evolved.
This was not even in the picture.
We have,
I remember when this came in.
Yeah. All of these categories, like you say, each of these categories could be a business by itself, right? So we could only sell packages on VR. It's so exciting. I mean, we can sell those NFTs hundreds of millions just based on this idea, right? Because it's very innovative, right, Jeremy? It's very disruptive. Nobody has done it, and it's just fascinating. Just like Edward, I cannot wait to see from outside how people would look when they play this. I
Yeah.
cannot wait
I would love to play
for
myself.
myself.
I would love to
And,
watch. Actually, it's gonna
Edward,
be
I
fun,
cannot
right?
wait. Yeah, I cannot wait to be in the same team with you guys actually, right? So to try it out.
Yeah.
So it's so exciting. Dmitry, maybe you can stop the screen share. Maybe you can turn on your camera. Probably if you stop the screen share, uh, uh, then you can bring your face back.
Let's
Yeah,
stop
and just
So,
try to
guys,
turn it back just to see your face also.
the
And thanks a lot.
people the
Yeah.
people who is buying, Jeremy, which package do we need? It's a $50,000
This is
package.
the 50,000. Yeah. So last week the AMA session was for the $25,000 pack. This was the health technology and sports performance, sports science technology. Today's AMA, the R&D of these technologies, VR and AI, several projects in the $50,000 package, but this falls into that category. So guys, this is massive, right? And of course, the top package includes the all of the packages. But for those that really want to have a piece of something this big, this is this project alone could raise $1 billion, even if it was just a startup. And this is so much more than a startup, and that's what I want everyone to really understand. This is so much more. This one project is so much more than a startup, because Dimitri is bringing 25 years of successful experience and a team that has already executed on these technologies. These technologies are not pipe dreams of the future of, oh, we hope we can figure it out. This is technology they have already executed and developed in different contexts, and they're bringing that expertise now to the specific ecosystem of blockchain sports. So this is massive, guys. This is honestly a dream come true moment. Even if we didn't have the NFT marketplace, if we didn't have the scouting platform, if we didn't have the nodes and the blockchain opportunity with the Atleta blockchain and the Atla coin, and even if we didn't have the inner athlete and we didn't have the reality TV shows coming and all of the components, the football clubs and academies, and we just had this project, guys, we could reach the world with just this project, right? And so this is the power of the blockchain sports ecosystem. And again, it's limitless, because what happens is innovation always inspires more innovation. So when you create a culture of innovation, right? You it's like a fire that touches and then touches that touches. You start to inspire further innovation, right? I would love to be in just one of the meetings with you and your team, where you guys are putting your ideas and you're imagining and you're dreaming the future. But it spawns, it births more and more innovation. And so this entire ecosystem, what Dmitry Saxonov has done is created an environment that is inviting to people like Dmitry to say, you guys are thinking big, we're thinking big, let's bring our big thinking together and make it even more expansive, right? So, man, what an incredible project, Dmitry. What an incredible project. Edward, I see that you got something to say.
As we speak about the $50,000 pack, and there's people thinking, I can afford this. How is it going to benefit me, right? And I just want to mention, guys, this project is even at $500 pack that you participate, or $2,000 pack you participate, founder pack. Think about Atleta coin, what this project will do for the token.
Yeah,
And
think
this,
about the data on the
yeah,
blockchain that's going to be accessible.
yeah,
I mean, so many. My mind's going crazy right
it's
now, just thinking,
it
wow,
will.
when we gamify this, just for the fan base, right? I mean, the activity that can happen for the coin, even inside of just one gaming ecosystem, is massive.
I
I know
just
my
wanted,
daughter, all she
yeah,
ever wants for Christmas and her birthday is Robux.
Jeremy, I just wanted to point it out that it's, yeah, whoever participates in the 50,000, they're going to greatly benefit specifically from this and other projects, right? But people who only can afford 500, 2,000, 8,000, right? there's still huge benefits specifically this VR because of the token. This is a very, very big, I don't know how to say it, uplift to the token. I
Yes.
just want to
To the
compare.
whole blockchain environment. Yeah, the whole Atleta. Anyone who owns a node, this is a big project for you because it's going to increase the value. In fact, Edward, I think this deserves a 2 thumbs up fireworks show.
Oh, you made it.
Yeah, I unfortunately I cannot do that, but
Yeah. Dmitry, I have a couple questions. So first, I mean, probably that's the number one question, obviously. So people, for those folks who buy those 50,000 packs, right? The question would be because they will receive royalty, right? So they will receive the right for the royalty, right? From this project. So can you provide some like realistic timelines when the project will be or can be launched? Like whether it's like 6 months or 1 year or 3 months. When the project will start generating some revenue.
We're gonna kick off the initial promotion, which means we're gonna be so close to launching this in around 12 months time, give or take. Um, it's an accelerated program. We're indeed, as been mentioned before, we're taking the experiences of 25 years, this star team that has participated on so many different directions in technologies, and we're accelerating the development itself. It's already in the process. We've already built the team. We're already building a star. Like we're talking about, we're building a macroeconomic effect where imagine if we were to clone the FIFA itself and allow you to become the first investor. It's like, how can I own a piece of FIFA itself? Like, this is what we're doing. And obviously, I think sometime next year, we're going to start by kicking off one of the leagues, and then we'll expand straight away.
So, okay, you mentioned FIFA. That was actually my second question, and you already answered the question, right? So this is like creating extended reality, like new type of hybrid, right? Like you, Jeremy, say, hybrid type of sports, which means that this will not be regulated by existing FIFA, but this can be regulated by ourselves, right? Basically, I mean, we creating the rules, we replicate probably some of the rules from FIFA, but this, like, we creating our own like a metaverse, right, if you will. So the next question is the last question from my side, talking about this income revenue streams. So those revenues, right, streams coming into this metaverse, into this games, right, will be very similar to real football, right? So we're talking about sponsorships, probably some advertisement, right? Am I right to say that? So
That's right. Yes, you're absolutely correct. Yeah.
okay, that's cool, which is huge.
Ilya, I guarantee you FIFA is going to want to be a part of this. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to want FIFA on the billboards and they're going to want to, because this is going to bring engagement into the world of football, the world of soccer.
Exactly. And Jeremy, what is very important, because I remember the slide, and Dmitry, you shared before we started Zoom call, you shared that it is already supported by 10 top footballers, worldwide footballers.
Yeah.
Even now, 1 year before we start, right? So imagine what is going to happen 1 year from now, right? So like it will probably be supported like by all like top footballers, right? Because I mean there is no downside in this, right? It's a lot of fun, entertainment. It's like a new category. Like year 2025 will be probably the year to start it, to kick it off.
We already looked at like compoundly, we have 1 billion followers on Instagram that we can reach instantly like this, to switch it on. 1 billion
Exactly.
followers.
Yeah, the speed will be
across different places.
Yeah, the speed will be very fast. Guys, we need to because we've been doing this call. Usually, Dmitry, we do it for 1 hour, so we like running out of time.
yeah.
Jeremy, maybe you want to say something? Oh, Edward, in the end.
Well, I'll tell you guys this, don't miss April 1st AMA. And we're going to be making some very special, very big announcements on April 1st that you just do not want to miss. Let's make it our biggest live call that we've ever had. I promise there's not a single person that that you don't want to be a part of what's happening right now with limitless and blockchain sports. This is one of those moments that doesn't come twice in a person's lifetime. This is a team that has come together that is very rare, very magical. The culture that's being created of limitless thinking. This is fun. This is limitless. And so April 1st, we're going to be making some exciting announcements. We're going to have another live call with some very special guests. In fact, I believe Zico has confirmed that he will be on that call as well. So that's going to be very exciting. And we'll be announcing the guest speakers on that call this week. You don't want to miss that call. So let's pack that call out. Make sure, guys, remember that those that participate in the Founders Packs by April the 1st, and we posted this announcement yesterday, but no matter what package a person is participating in, if you join before April the 1st, you are also participating, your nodes will also be participating in the data transactions, the data component of the Athleta blockchain. And this is a huge boost long-term because it's a major component of the entire blockchain model. So big opportunity the next 10 days to get everyone in your circle, in your inner circle of influence, to be a part of this project. And they will be very upset with you if you don't tell them about this opportunity and they miss this. So big opportunity to be a part of something very special. And April 1st, we're going to be making some very exciting announcements. So let's really pack that call out. So that's it for me. Edward?
Well, just closing thoughts. This kind of project, this VR project, this is my kind of project where I would want to put my money into it. This is where I would participate, and in a big way. This is what specifically I look for, right? Last week we had another call with Dr. Eric. That's the project I would want to participate in. So for me, when I look, I can't wait for it to share with the next AMA sessions and see what we have and going on. But it's just becoming bigger and better and more exciting.
Yeah, incredible.
Yep.
Incredible. Well, big announcements coming, guys. We got some announcements from some of the football legends that are partnering with the project at a whole nother level that we'll be making this week as well. So just very big things are happening. So Dimitri, thank you so much for your time. Thank you, I think most of all, bro, for having the courage to be an innovator because it takes courage to see what no one else is seeing, to dream what no one else is dreaming, and then to execute and bring those ideas into reality. So it's an honor for us to be able to be a part of this project alongside of you guys. And your time with us today was very inspirational for us, for the three of us, but I know also for our entire community. So thank you so much, man, for being who you are and for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me as well. Yeah. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Dmitry. Thanks.
And one more fireworks.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.